In today's video, I'm going to be talking all about back pain. Back pain is something that's becoming quite common for a lot of us, and something we often experience. So I'm going to be talking about back pain. In this video, I'm going to be focusing on the fact that perhaps you're in pain and you need to find ways of eliminating that pain. So that's kind of getting yourself into some positions that are going to ease the discomfort, and then looking at doing some stretches, getting some movement back into the body that will help ease that pain and discomfort. And then in another video, we're going to be looking at what you can do to avoid back pain in the future. So there's a couple of things. For those that don't know, as well as being a fitness instructor, I'm also an aerialist, and that really does take a lot of wear and tear on my shoulders, on my upper body, and putting my body in positions that it really wasn't designed to be in, putting a lot of pressure on the back. So back pain is something that I will quite often suffer with. So there's lots of tools and tricks that I've discovered along the way, which I'm going to share with you. So one thing that another aerialist showed me a couple of years ago that I absolutely love is, can you see it? It's called a bed of nails. Or you might see it described as an acupuncture kit. So it's little plastic nails designed to create the same kind of effect that having acupuncture would do. So this goes underneath the neck, this is on the back, and all you need to do is lie on it like so. Okay, and you lie on it. The nails will get the blood pumping around your back, and then all that freshly oxygenated, healthy blood's going to help ease some of that pain. So I found that this really does work for me. When you first use it with a top on first, and then when you get a bit more used to it, you can use it with bare skin. So that's your bed of nails. Or your acupuncture kit, something that definitely I love and find really helpful. Another thing would be, this is a yoga massage ball. You could, if you don't have one, you could use a tennis ball, or go to your local pet shop and they will do like dogs' toys that are very similar, possibly a little bit cheaper as well, so you can use that. And what you would do is basically roll this into that place that's hurting on your back, and that will massage your back. So for example, say if I had a pain here, I can just lie on it and I can roll over, and that's going to help some of the pain. If you don't want to put your whole body weight on, you could just sit and do that instead. So you can kind of adjust the pressure that you put on that. Obviously, if you are in a lot of pain and it's really sore and hurting, that might be a bit too much. Other things that you can do would be to go for a massage, whether that's a sports massage or any kind of relaxation massage. See a physio, osteopath, chiropractor if it's a regular, common reoccurrence with your back. Have a hot bath and use things like magnesium salts, magnesium spray, any kind of muscle rubs. So they're kind of some of the immediate things that you might do if you're in discomfort. And then this is the bit that I'm going to talk about, is some of the poses that you can put yourself into. So rather than kind of sitting and being in pain or walking around being in pain, get yourself into some of these comfortable poses that are really going to ease some of that pain. Now it depends where, your back is divided into 3 sections, upper, middle and lower back. Depends where the pain is as to what pose is going to work for you. So it's a little bit of trial and error. And it's just, all you're trying to do now is get into a comfortable position that works for you, that eliminates some of that pain. So one of my favourite poses and positions to be in is just in a little ball. So lying on my back, bringing my knees to my chest. So if I've got any kind of backache, or if you've got a stomach ache or you've been overtraining your abs, this is quite a good position to be in. If you want a little bit more, you can circle your knees around, and that will give you a little massage in the lower bit of your back. Again, you could put the tennis ball, massage ball under your back as well. So this kind of position is really nice for your back. You could also extend your legs and have your legs against the wall and that will ease your back. So a little bit like so, okay, and that will just take some of the pressure off your back. So it's a little bit of trial and error. I prefer the first one, other people prefer the second one. Another nice position to be in is child's pose. So that's just sitting onto the back of your ankles. You can have your hands out in front, head down. You can also move your hands to here. And that pose should give you some comfort. Another one would be to literally just hang low, so like a rag doll, so literally just hang down. And you can also begin to straighten those legs, and that's going to give you a bit of stretch in the back of your legs. Sorry, I'll stand up and talk to you. That's going to give you a bit of a stretch in the back of your legs, because a lot of back issues can actually come from the back of your legs and your butt being a bit too tight. So just hanging low will help, and let that neck go free, especially if you've got any kind of upper back, neck and shoulders. You can also have do what we call a flat back. So hands just below your kneecaps, don't put them on your kneecaps, so on the top of your shins, and then you're going to lengthen that spine, so pulling your chest away from your hips and your hips away from your chest. And then hanging low into that ragdoll pose. And that will help, it will stretch out some of those muscles. Another little pose that you might want to find, so going back down onto the floor, would be to have one leg out, one leg in. You can bend this leg if you want. Same arm as bent leg is going to extend to the side. If you can, try and keep that shoulder blade, that shoulder on the floor, and then you're just going to roll this leg over, looking at the arm. And this is, you have to be gentle when you do this. So this is going into more of a stretch rather than a pose. And this is what we call a gentle spinal twist. So this way I have to be kind of gentle. And make sure you're nice and warm when you're doing these positions. So moving on to some stretches. A nice one for your upper back would be to bring your arms up, turn the hands up to the ceiling, and then let your shoulders drop away from your ears. And that will help. And then we've also got a side stretch. You can do that with your feet together, or feet slightly wider apart. Now this is going into your lats and really stretching out your sides. So especially if you've been doing a lot of training, this is going to stretch this part out and help ease the back. One of my favourite positions to go into, a stretch that eases my back, and it might be due to the type of training that I'm doing and where the pain's coming into, would be to have my hands on the wall, keeping my hips away from the wall. I'm going to drop my chest towards the wall and try not to knock a picture off the wall at the same time. So I'm creating a bit of an arch, a bit of a ski slope. What else have we got for you? Another one, feet together, hands across, lifting your hands up and then pulling them apart. So imagining your hands are like magnets repelling each other. So you're really stretching and opening up. So a lot of back pain comes from being quite tight in the chest. So stretching out some of the chest, and you can start linking some of these moves together. So dropping those shoulders, going into a side stretch, diving down to get that release, hands just below your shins, and then coming up. Another nice one would be to go into your cat and tail tilt. This gets a bit of movement back in your spine and can really help ease some of the pain. So you're going to go into a tabletop, so onto all fours. Now you have to be careful when you do this and make sure you do it with good technique, otherwise you're actually going to do more damage than good. So from here I'm going to create a little curve But my first movement is to pull my chest away from my hips and lengthen, and then I can arch, and then I'm going to curl up one vertebra at a time and keep moving through these positions. What I'm not just doing is dumping right into my spine and kind of dropping and sticking my bum up. I'm thinking about lengthening my back first and then curling around. So that's really important, otherwise you're going to hurt your spine. So pulling my chest away from my hips away from my chest, arching, opening up my collar and curling one vertebrae at a time. And again, you can move these into some combinations, taking it into a child's pose. A nice one to stretch out your back. Nice wide hands and come into downward dog. So hips up, heels into the floor. So nice wide hands, tails up to ceiling, trying to push your heels into the floor. Okay, so that's all I've got for you today. So it's a case of when you are in that immediate discomfort and that pain and you want to ease some of it, find some tools that work for you, so things like a bed and nail, a massage ball, hot bath, going for a massage. Put yourself into some positions that help, so some of the poses. My favourite is definitely the knees into your chest, and I've just remembered I'd forgotten to show you one. I knew there was one, which is why my face might have looked a bit confused, although that's a normal facial expression for me. So one of my favourite ones is called Happy Baby Pose. You might not want to do this one in the office, so save this for the privacy of your own home. But lying on your back, so it's kind of a continuation from this. So this is definitely the first position I tell anyone to get into if they were in pain. And then take it into the Happy Baby Pose. So feet up, feet flat to the ceiling, grab the outside of your feet, and then from here, bend your arms and just gently try and bring the knees down towards your chest until you feel you're in a comfortable position. And this is your Happy Baby Pose. If you ever watch a baby, they're really clever at knowing what to do and what positions to put themselves into to help themselves. So yeah, go into some poses. So into a little ball, into the Happy Baby Pose, child's pose, downward dog, or the little ski slope against the wall. And then start trying to get some movement in your back, so the cat and tail tilts. And then start with some nice gentle stretches. Make sure you are warm before you're stretching. And with any kind of stretching, you're taking yourself where you can feel a bit of a gentle stretch, but should never be excruciatingly painful. If you just kind of bang yourself into this position, you're going to do more damage than good. So yeah, get yourself into some comfortable poses, get yourself into some stretches, and then either go out and get yourself a massage, go see a physio, or have a nice hot bath, and that should definitely do you the world of good. So in the next video, we're going to look at what's causing some of these back pains. So the common causes are postural issues, and in everyday life we're quite often slumped in front of a computer, sat behind a steering wheel all day, or maybe standing on our feet all day due to work. There's also things to do with the way we're training, and movement, and general good posture. So we're going to look at that. So I'm not very good at making serious videos, although some of the stuff we've been talking about is quite serious. I wanted to share some funny stories with you. So one of the things that I quite often struggle with when I've been doing a lot of aerial training is I get a big pain across my back here. And for some reason, I wouldn't recommend this, but this seems to work for me, that to ease a bit of the pain, I literally just do this, and I find myself walking around the house doing this. Now at least I'm hoping I save this for the privacy of my own home. I've got a bad feeling that there's times when I'm out and about and I kind of forget where I am and my back is hurting and I just start doing this. Not particularly attractive, but what can I say? And the other thing is I get a lot of bad pains in my neck, so I'm quite often stretching out my neck, turning side to side. And I'm sure some people get a little bit scared thinking I've got something going on because I'm standing around doing this and kind of a little bit oblivious to where I am and who's watching. But there we go. Another funny story, like I showed you in the video, one of my favourite stretches is this one that really helps ease some of the pain. And I've been known on nights out to disappear to the toilet and hide in the toilet cubicle and do some stretches. I once kind of forgot where I was, and it was an entrance with men and women sort of heading into the toilets, and I think I was queuing, so I got bored of waiting, so I started doing some stretches, and then some guy walked past, gave me some very, very strange looks, and my friend just informed him that I was sexually frustrated and that's what was going on. The poor guy, bless him, did not know where to look or what to do. So yeah, there we go. I think we've probably all got some funny stories of weird and wonderful things that we've done, or maybe that's just me. Thank you for watching the video, and I will speak to you soon. Bye bye.